Hey guys, Lancy here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining me on Look into some more Mtg stocks. Let's get right to it. So, Cyberdrive Awakener. Well, it's impossible to predict exactly where this card is going to go. It's kind of expensive for a 4/4 flying. Other artifacts you control have flying, and when it enters the battlefield until end of turn, each non-creature artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 4/4. Yeah, okay. It's a finisher. It's good. I'm pretty sure, or at least it's good in an artifact deck as a finisher in a color that doesn't normally go for beatdown, while still doing something that helps the deck, and 6 mana isn't that expensive. Let's say that you make a lot of food token, a lot of treasure token, a lot of clues. This guy comes in, you never get a chance to use them as well as you should, and then you just come in with 24/4s flying, and then you deal 80 damage to 2 people and take 2 of them out, possibly. I mean, they all have flying as well. So, what do I think? Not bad. Not bad overall. We'll have to see how many of these get opened, if people are actually thinking about going in that direction. It's not a infinite combo, which a lot of artifact decks go for. It's just a solid beater in blue. Scarred, the Rage Pit, Plane Chase 2022. What has gone on with this card? Well, something's going on. All it does is tap to provide you 1 colorless mana, which is not bad because it does come with another effect. When you play a red and a green and tap, target creature gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. Perfectly reasonable card. I'm not too sure why it's spiking all over the place. Jukai Naturalist from Kamigawa, moving along. Another Kamigawa Secluded Courtyard, pretty cool card. Muldrifter, the kid drawn one from Secret Lairs, now bouncing back up. Now don't get me wrong, these Secret Lairs that didn't get picked up because people just didn't see the value in them, they actually have value just for that reason. So all the popular ones might actually drop down in value, while these ones that might not have gotten picked up because a lot of people might have just been like, I don't need that many of them, might be able to stock up on some of these and then get some value out. Now, $9 for a Muldrifter, pretty expensive. $10, pretty expensive. But, it's another card, it's legit, even if it doesn't look like it. And you can get them for 90 cents, so if you really want it somewhere else, get it somewhere else as well. Kappa Cannoneer. I think I've heard that this one is actually not that bad. It's 6 mana, is actually never going to be 6 anyways in an artifact deck. It does some cool stuff. It can become pretty decent sized quite fast. If you can make it unblockable somehow, you can smack in for a lot. It's actually $5 on TCG Play. That's actually insane. So, yeah, people value this one. We'll see how it goes. Extended art. Nope. Moving along to Hondon of Infinite Rage. I am actually probably going to have to unload all of these shrines, because I've had these ones from the original Kamigawas, and you can see that they spiked and then dropped back down because obviously Eternal Masters obviously had another printing and so on and so forth. So they never used to be worth anything, but then we are very thematically focused on shrines right now, so all of these have some value. Rickshaws Expertise, good card. Wandering Emperor, $10 for this one. We'll have to see where this card ends up, because if Standard picks it up, then it might actually spike up way above $10. But other than that, it reminds me a bit about Avacyn, and possibly like a white combat trick for 4 mana, but it does some cool stuff. It'll be a hard card to beat in the right deck. Army of Allah from Arabian Nights. Now this one picked up in the same time period as everything else. It's massive spike in the 2020 buying spree. It's not on the reserve list. It's got an Arabian Nights dark printing, I assume, or normal printing for $35.54, but it will most likely never be printed again for just the name. Like, I can't think of anything else. Like, you can print this card again, I guess, but you can't. If you print it with that name, people might become more outraged than they need to be. And for that reason, it might as well be on the reserve list. And Felwar Stone, a pretty good 2 mana rock. I'm just going to go back to this, this review that's done weekly by Arjen. So they cover some pretty cool pickups like Fervent Charge. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. pretty good. 5 mana, bright colors. It's an attack ability, which means it doubles up with the new commander, I think. Moving on, shrines. Obviously, all the shrines have gone completely crazy. Makes perfect sense in my mind. But yeah, completely crazy. I'm going to have to unload a bunch of these because I have a bunch of them. I have like 8 of these ones. Plenty of all of these. So got them when they were super cheap. Mind Leech Mass. Now I have this card. Don't know exactly why it's spiking. It could be, it's a horror, so there is that horror guy, the new one that came up. Runo, Stormkirk, Rexen. So there's a few reasons, but it's unusual for it to spike up so aggressively. Triangle of War, old card. Cheap pickups. Liliana. Now Liliana I think is coming out in the new black commander staple deck. The one with the snake lady that summons snakes. Staff of Domination, very useful card. Cabal Coffers still dropping. All these cards, yes, I recommend at least keeping an eye on them. Moving over to Mtg Goldfish Standard. It's going to be a bit hard to keep track of this one, but let's just continue with weekly changes. Crackle Power, good card, now sitting at $4.82, a gain of 13%. Lion Slash, gaining 11% and now sitting at $5. That's from Kamigawa, but yeah, that's a pretty crazy jump. Lizard Blades. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cheap. 4 mana to give a creature to a double strike, but then from then on 2 mana each time. It's a 1/1 that comes to double strike. Yeah, it's a pretty cool card. Anything else? Yeah, so we got a Malevolent Hermit from the Wolf. Innistrad. Actually a good card. I think I was keeping an eye on this one, but 10% gain, $2.75. And Grazilix, Illithid Scholar, $2.25, a gain of 11%. There are some big drops, but all of them are for Kamigawa, so let's just move straight on to Pioneer and Modern. So Pioneer has Mox Amber going up by 3% and that's at $40. Urborg of the Tomb of Yawgmoth, 4% gain, and now sitting at $31.57. Phantom of Stone Fangs now sitting at $3.19, 28% gain. So I really like, this is starting to get weird where you're like, okay, this doesn't have enough support. Like this commander gameplay with these cards doesn't have enough support. I'm going to buy these cards because at some point Wizard Coast is going to give them support. Like, is that a good way to go about it from now on? Because that's literally what they're doing. It's like they printed shrines in Kamigawa. Commander became popular, so then they printed more shrines, and then kind of gave like a shrine 5-color, not commander, but a legendary shrine that was pretty cool for shrine decks. And now they have a shrine commander and an extra 4 more commanders that are also creatures, which can be interacted with, but also copied easier and everything like that. And yeah, it's starting to get a bit predictable exactly what they're going to do next. But I don't know, just for that reason, they might not do it. Elvish Reclaimer dropping down by 9% to now sit at $8.91. Nothing really crazy. The drops are very low still. Weekly change, so you got Myojin of the Night's Reach gaining by 31% and now sit at $11.49. I don't know about you guys, but I have all of them, the original ones. I never found them to be that good. They're really hard to cast, even if you put them inside that 5-color deck, which you can play Uberg instead of the mana cost of these. They're still hard to cast. Inkai, Servant of Oni, $34.99 to now gain 7%. Mind Leech Mass, we covered this, $5 now, 53% gain. Cream of the Crop, $8.99, a 22% gain. I think this was in a Command Zone episode. That could explain that. 51% gain for Hondon of Life's Web, $4.45. It's an okay one. 37% drop for Artificer's Intuition. A 10% drop for Olivia Valdaran, $17.50. Still quite high. Moving over to the dual lands to see how the health of the dual land markets are. very stable. Now, it is slowly moving down. People aren't panic buying anymore. It seems that we found a flatline entry point. Now, I myself don't see this as a good time to buy any more. Or should I say, I certainly wouldn't consider this a good time to go all in. I mean, I never would have said anything. Like, I think I was saying buy slowly over time. If you want to buy slowly over time, it's fine. This is not a bad time to do it because it's not moving up or down aggressively. Now you can do some thinking. You can hunt for the really good bargains. But what I'm saying is, with the Federal Reserve and all the stuff that's happening around the world, even if a bunch of small time people own a lot of these cards, if anything crazy happens and money becomes a bit more tighter around the world, these cards are going to drop even 10, 20%. So we'll keep an eye on it. So heavily played Badlands, $374. That's a lot. Lightly played for $449. Ugh. That still feels like a lot. Bayou, same thing. Curving up at the top. Highest price now is $527 for the average. You got TCG players saying $419. Savannah, same thing. Seems to be curving off. And last one, Tiger, flatlining. Possibly has a chance to drop, but it looks pretty spiky. Average price is about $340 on TCG, probably for heavily played. And yeah, you'll have to see if you can find anything better than that. Moderate play, 322. Not bad. I've seen worse. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to do a set review for Kamigawa coming up, and we'll see how that goes for the next week. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good one. See ya.